Hold on. Oh, stop letting them mess with your business. There it is, child. What's up, y'all? I said, what's up, what's up, what's up? Hey, y'all. Hey. Okay. Oh, oh, okay. Maybe I'm annoyed. Just a little bit, not a lot. Yeah. Let me measure it. Like, if 10 was the highest number, I'm about a 3. I'm about a good 3. Uh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a little on the annoyed side because, huh? I said, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Huh? That's my stuff. Like I told you already. I still ain't found my lip, my bag with my stuff. So, annoyed. Hold on, y'all. I'm live from Austin. I know that's right. Shout out to that. Shout out to all my Texas folks. Yeah, let's talk about it. Shout out to that. Let me tell you. Man, hold on, y'all. I said, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. But I told y'all my lipstick, like, yeah. My favorite lipstick is like stuck out off in there. Let me see. That's it. That's it right there. So shout out to that. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna get it together. I'm getting it together. And so shout out to that. Child. I'm live from Austin. Let's do it. I said, let's do it. Now, do it. Do it. Yeah, I'm live and I'm ready. So shout out to that. I'm back. This is episode like 20 something. So shout out to that. Um, Child, I got a lot going on today. Just like I told y'all. It's a lot. It is. Oh, shout out to that. Hold on. Y'all scoot up. Y'all get comfortable. It's your girl Shay Renee, and I want to welcome everybody back to my channel. Back to a new show. Back to another week. We talking Boston Richie today, cause like I was telling y'all this morning, I don't know why ain't nobody talking about Boston Richie, but like I'm not. I said I'm not going for that. Yeah. Like the song say, I can't go for that. Yeah. No can do. I can't go for that. I can't go for that. Child, please. Yeah, no. I'm saying, what's wrong with everybody? Mics. Yeah, is this thing on? I'm like, where's Cameron? Where is let me just say this. One thing about it, we might not hear from Club Shay Shay. Okay? Oh, my kids have some more juice. I bet you they didn't even know they had some more juice. Because they just like drinking up the Kool-Aid. Truth is, like Fantasia said, they just like drinking up the Kool-Aid. So anyway, yes, it's your girl Shay Renee, and I want to welcome everybody back to my channel, back to a new show, and back to a new week. Now, tell me why I'm trying to figure out why ain't nobody talking about Boston Richie. Y'all just ain't ready to talk about Boston Richie. Why? Baby, let me put my bananas up. Yeah, let me put my bananas up so y'all will go head on. Truth is, I need these. What they call them fruit flies, baby. They gotta go. Yeah, no. Truth is, they gotta go. But hold on, y'all. Before we get into a show, an official show. Let's go ahead and politic a little bit. So, as y'all can see, the hair thriving. I put it in some twists. My twist, ends up going in a bun. Throw my little hat on. Boom, 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 bow while you're rocking it. Yeah, period. Like Kendrick Lamar said, and I'm rocking it. Straight like that, and I'm out the door. And I love it. Remember, because I told y'all last week, like, yeah, nah, I can't be giving back Beetlejuice about the head. So shout out to that. Yeah. I said it ain't giving Beetlejuice round the head, around these parts. Amen. So shout out to that. Yeah. So, So the hair in the bun, it's thriving. Shout out to that. Yeah, what else did I need to tell y'all right quick while we politicking? Before we get into a real show. An official show. Damn, what else was it? I'll talk to y'all about the hair. Oh, the new house. Okay, my new surprise. Okay, y'all. So I'm loving it. Yeah, no, truth is, thus far, I'm loving it. Like, I don't have no complaints. Truth is, like, so far, y'all, I don't have no complaints. Not one. You know what I'm saying? It's giving quiet. Okay. Just like I like it. Y'all know how I like it. I like it quiet. Okay. Truth is. So shout out to that. But like, yeah, now it's giving Um, real quiet, cool, calm, laid back child. Uh, when I first got here, we didn't have no neighbors. We didn't have no neighbors. Now the neighbors that moved in, child, overnight. Yeah, overnight. So, I guess that's gonna be different. You know, what I'm saying? Take a little time to get used to, but like that's I don't know, ain't nothing changed as far as that either though, really. Um, so yeah, shout out to that. Real quiet, um, chill. Like I was telling y'all, I'm in the process of trying to like just find a place, you know what I'm saying? Find a place and a space, for everything. That's where I'm at with it right now. It's so much. Ooh, y'all. Child. It's a lot. But, I'm processing. I'm processing and just doing the best I can, y'all. Sure. It is what it is. But today, I plan on getting some things done. Y'all hold on real quick. Hold on. Oh, and don't forget to scoot up, get comfortable, hit the like button. Yes, this is gonna be a very lengthy live. Yes, I'm in the building. For sure. Happy Monday. Y'all hold on real quick. Yeah, I'm back. um, I know one thing though. When I when I learn how to like when I get better and parting doing a parting on my hair, baby, I'm gonna be a bad girl. Listen, truth is, I'm a bad girl anyway. Mm, mm. So shout out to that. But like now, I'm talking about you wanna be a baddie, but you ain't bad enough. Type ish, you know. Uh 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 but ultimately, y'all know the goal. The goal is to just grow the hair. You know, grow the hair. Somebody drop in my comments and say, "Oh, grow the hair." So shout out to that, baby. That's the goal. Yeah, no. Truth is, the goal is to just grow the hair about the head. Okay, period. To eliminate, just to um rock my natural hair. Shit, I just want to I want to wear my natural hair. You know what I'm saying? Um, more than somebody else's. Truth is, that's just what time it is for me. Okay, shout out to that. So like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing what I do, y'all, growing it and uh treating and trimming and So anyway, a little protective style here, a little protective style there. But yeah, truth is, when I get the part, once I get that parting down, clock it. I'm gonna be a bad girl as far as like twist, doing my own twist and stuff like that. hmm So shout out to that. I'm trying to think. What else is going on? Hold on. I'm going to talk headlines with y'all in a second, but right now, like, ooh, I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere right now, y'all. But it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The truth is, it's okay. Because, I'm figuring it out. Shit, bottom line, I'm figuring it out. And like I was telling y'all, I got so much stuff to do today. So, yeah. Let me get on it. Let me get on it. And I'm gonna be live with y'all. I'm streaming today. So shout out to that. I'm doing my podcast. This is part 2. I need to go shopping. I feel like I need to go shopping so bad. Like, but I can't explain it. It's just like, it's hard to explain, but I know one thing. Like when I be shopping, I be needing a full day. It be seeming like, yeah. Now, truth is because I was just recently shopping by myself and didn't make no like I don't know the word I'm looking for, but didn't find nothing. Nothing. Just it was just a big old seemed like a failed trip. Shoot, it is what it is. Do you know how frustrating it is to like get out and about and don't find one thing, like one thing, like just literally one thing. That's how I felt. But I will say this though too. That's how it be when you are shopping for a specific thing. You know what I'm saying? Cause that's exactly what happened to me. Um, last weekend, like I was looking for me something black because I had got invited to an all black party, so I was looking for me something black, and I couldn't find nothing. I was just walking in and out, and I was like, I only saw one pair of potential pants, and I was trying to tell y'all about them. Yeah, it's crazy. I was trying to tell y'all about them because one, I cannot remember the designer name, but I know he's popular, and I'm like $300. He wanted $300 for his pants. Now they were cute, but they weren't that goddamn cute. I know the truth is they weren't that cute. One, and then two, I don't know if I would literally buy them pants. Y'all know them that I just seen like right after I was in the mall and I seen them pants. I seen Sierra and some. And I was like, oh, that reminds me of the pants that I just saw. So they like lace. They were like some lace pants, bell bottoms, and they look like they got like a built-in panty. That's what they look like a built-in panty. They cute, they alright, but not for no $300. I remember seeing him being like, oh, he got his rabbit ass mind. Truth is. Um, but I need to go shopping. Shit, truth is. I just need a little something that's crazy too, because I don't even need a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember a long time ago, and shout out to you if you just now getting here, hit the like button. I'm just politicking with y'all for a second before we officially get into a show. But listen, I remember when I first started shop. Well, let me take it all the way back, right? When I used to always feel like, man, I don't have enough clothes. I remember I used to always feel like I didn't have enough clothes, and I hated that. Because for one, you know what I'm saying? I grew up like admiring, I tell y'all this story all the time. I grew up admiring my grandmother's closets. Okay, with an S, because she always had more than one. My grandma had 3 closets. 3. So I grew up admiring that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, I get grown. You know what I'm saying? I get grown. When I get on and get grown, I'm gonna have me a whole lot of closets and clothes too. So, I don't know if that's the reason why. But I can remember in my younger years just always feeling like I don't have no clothes, I don't have no clothes, right? And then so eventually I just got to the point where I started shopping a lot. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. I got to the point where I started shopping a lot. And then that's where it dawned on me that like a wardrobe is not something that comes overnight. Yeah, no, truth is, a wardrobe is not something that comes overnight. You're gonna have to build it. That's another thing too. I used to always think, when I used to be like, I don't have a lot of clothes, or when I used to feel like I didn't have enough. Well, I always felt like I didn't have enough clothes. I used to always be like, okay, so when I did go shopping, I'd be like, well, damn, that didn't really buy me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Cause that's not gonna be the answer either. Shoot, unless you got a whole lot of money, um, you know what I'm saying? Like, in order to get a whole lot of clothes, you're gonna have to have a whole lot of money, you know. Um, Yeah, now racks on racks on racks type stuff. But I just started shopping weekly. You know what I'm saying? And once I started shopping weekly, y'all, things changed for me. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't feel like that no more. Mm-mm, absolutely not. Now I don't feel like I don't have enough clothes. Now I feel like I got enough clothes. Period. And I'll take it a step further. Now it's more so like adding. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. That's how I go. Like after you get your so basically, let me give a couple of tips because y'all know I love to help people. That's just my thing. That's what I like to do. So basically, if you feel like you don't have enough clothes, you have to start shopping more often. Okay, you have to make it your business to just shop often. I don't care what it is. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. So, like, let's say you the type of person you like me. See, like me, I can think about my wardrobe like in my head. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, like for instance, I know that I like blue jeans. I know that I like different shades of blue jeans. You know what I'm saying? So you can start there. You know, you can just say, I need a pair of black pants, and get you a pair of black pants. You know what I'm saying? I need a pair of blue jean pants, get you a pair of blue jean pants. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, just start adding. You know, but you got to be consistent. Point blank, period. You got to be consistent. You can't shop every now and then. Shopping every now and again ain't gonna get you to where you want to go. But just consistently doing it for a little while gonna put you right where you need to be. Truth is, I'm telling you what I know. But anyway, I ended up wearing something. Oh, yeah. Shout out to that to the party. Cause I couldn't find nothing new. It just is what it is. And I wasn't finna spend my money, and I wasn't finna force it. And the good thing is, you know what I'm saying? Uh, I had on like that was probably my second or third time wearing that dress. You know what I'm saying? I barely ever wore it before, so that's that. You know what I'm saying? But like, child, I was gonna find something. I didn't have no choice. I was gonna have to find me something, or keep, you know what I'm saying, hitting the pavement. Child, and I wasn't gonna keep doing that. You know, because that's another thing. Where I live at, shopping ain't like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to have a mall, a hood mall, try that they tore down. For what reason, I don't know. But now the miles is just far. Try they far. You know what I'm saying? So imagine driving far, 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 miles and miles and miles and miles and miles from where you live, and get into a place and they don't got nothing you want. The frustration. You hear me? So anyway, but like, yeah, no, I'm just at the point where I need a few things, if that makes sense. I just need a couple of little items. I really need more well, not need. I really want, okay, more household stuff than I do clothes. But I do need you know what I'm saying? I need a little something, something. Or whatnot, whatnot. So shout out to that. But anyway, but yeah, thank y'all for listening to my kid talk. Okay. Mhm. So what else is going on now? So what I talk to y'all about, yeah, I need to go shopping though. Truth is, and I could use a couple of things like I don't know, I need to pay attention to what I need. Like for instance, y'all know how I was trying to tell y'all. I've been paying attention, like people be having extra, all of this extra stuff. Yeah, I feel like I might need that if that makes sense. Some cabinets. I don't know, y'all, but it won't be long. I guess it won't be long before I be trying to do some. home improvement type of stuff, child. Yes. Anyway, um, something, something, something just ain't alright. Whew. I got so much stuff to do. It's crazy. Just organizing and cleaning and organizing and cleaning. Mm, mm. Shout out to that. I said, you shout out to that, but y'all know I'm gonna get it done. I know I'm gonna get it done. And speaking of cleaning and yeah, Stephen A. Smith was saying basically like, he wants a woman that's gonna cook. You know what I'm saying? He want a woman that's gonna cook. He want a woman that's gonna work. First of all, I don't think it's nothing wrong with Stephen's. I don't think it's nothing wrong with what Stephen A. said. I don't. You know, I absolutely don't. But I will say this though, because I got to. Yeah, up here. Shout out to Prince. Gasta. But I got to. So shout out to that. I just feel like women are humans. You know what I'm saying? Women are humans. They're not robots. So I think that anybody talking about I want a woman that cook and thinking that she gonna cook every day and all of that. I just think that they're in for a rude awakening. One, two, and then one more thing that I will say is I don't know. I just feel like just like the judge said on divorce court, baby, go on and look deep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go on and look deep before you leap. It is what it is because it sounds like that's what needs to go down. You know, because again, like I said, I don't find nothing wrong with what Stephen A. said. Um, I think that when people say certain stuff, they should say it better. You know what I'm saying? Because he said like it's a requirement. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way he said it, and he was like, if I gotta cook, what do I need you for? And like, it was just it sounded so, you know, with Stephen A. It's lots of things that um she could be useful. You know what I'm saying for outside of making you a bowl of oatmeal or a bowl of grits. You see, uh, uh, when you're hungry, Mr. Preston Curl. I'm just saying, but it sounded real, And then people was like, she gotta work. So for me, it wasn't necessarily what he said, it was how he said it. But I do think one thing that I do applaud him for is knowing what he wants, right? It is what it is. Like he knows what's for him and what ain't. To me, now all he gotta do, right, is just wait on God to send him because mind you, God will. You know what I'm saying? He'll, you know, he knows us. Period. He knows our heart. He know what we be looking for. He know what we be need. So um, I just feel like, he will find, okay, that right lady, that loves cooking, you know, love cooking. You know what I'm saying? And it's really, 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 really dedicated to her life's work too. Cause I don't know. I don't know a lot of people that love work. I know a lot of people that love what they do. No, I don't know a lot of people that love what they do. I know it's a lot of people that love what they do for work though. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily they love working, but they love the job. You know what I'm saying? So to speak. So, I feel like he'll be blessed, you know what I'm saying, with that and what he need. And I'll take it a step further because I'm gonna definitely finna hurry up and get away from this topic. Yeah, the truth is I'm not the biggest fan of all that relationship stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like people waste. I'm not gonna say waste, but they put a lot of time into relationship talk. you know, And I think it's necessary, but I don't think it's as necessary. If that makes sense. Yeah, no, truth is. I don't think it's that necessary. I think that it's other conversations that I would rather see, you know what I'm saying, as frequently as we had this one. I know that. So shout out to that. Um, but yeah, I think that a lot of what's not being said is, you know, as you get older, things change, you know? So when you 18, you might want a BBL. You know what I'm saying? But once you turn 26, 27, you might say, you know what, I don't even want that no more. You know? I mean, for real. Like wants and needs are forever changing. You know? It just is what it is. Um and with that being said, though, I think it's important for people to know themselves, Um, I was for to say 100%, but that takes time. You know what I'm saying? It really do. That takes time. But I do. I think it's really important to like know yourself and know what you want and what you're looking for and what what you're cool with, what you're not cool with, all of the above. Because I think it could save a lot of time you know, time and wasted energy if people just, you know, knew exactly what they wanted, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how Stephen A was talking. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. At least, like people might not like what he said, people might not agree with what he said, but at least it's clear. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like a piece of ice. It's clear. You know what I'm saying? It's ever. So it is what it is. Shout out to him for that. Because Stephen A is really he's older. Shit, you know what I'm saying? He's older. So, he definitely should have a good idea. Yeah, nah, truth is at his big grown age. But Stephen A. Smith, if I'm being real boy, I mean, sir, uh, uh, it really gives like he kind of could be. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but it's something about commitment, if that makes sense. Now, hey, you know, um, it could not be that. It could not be that. It could be lots of reasons why. You know, and I'll take it a step further. Stephen A. could be in a relationship. I don't think he is, but he could be. He could be just private. I don't know. I really don't know. But truth is, I don't know. He reminds me of Shannon Sharp. Both of them. You know. both of them are kind of like red flags a little bit, if you will. I don't know what it is. I would have to ask him. I would have to ask Shannon Sharp. Do you have commitment issues? Do you have commitment issues, or I don't know. Truth is. But I did see Stephen A. say that just recently, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna tell my audience how I feel about that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, shout out to that. But like, yeah, I definitely think that, I just think that Stephen has another thing too, he sound really immature kinda by what he said, and kinda just a little bit the way he said it. You know what I'm saying? Just for the simple fact that, like, yeah, life don't work like that. I'm sorry, it just don't. Um, people are people. And that being said, they're not robots. They're not robots. They're not robotic. Things are gonna happen. You know, so like if your spouse, right, is down and out today, I don't know. She could have got fired, or lost a family member or anything. You know what I'm saying? But if she's down and she's crying, I mean, you still talking about dinner? You see, like, are you for real? You really finna still bring up dinner, didn't you? You see what I'm saying? It's just like, child, please. But it is what it is. I just feel like he got a lot. I feel like he has a lot to learn as far as relationships go. Okay. Truth is, but that's what happens. This is my personal opinion. To me, that's what also happens when you avoid them so long. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, now truth is, when you avoid being in a relationship so long, you sound crazy. You say a lot of crazy stuff, right? Like Shannon Sharp, you know what I'm saying? Then you want your company to go down the street to Kroger's to use the restroom and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not used to being around people. It just is what it is. Child. So anyway, shout out to Stephen A. Dolan. Shout out to that. Now, what else is going on these internet streets? I need to get some headlines going. I know that. Shout out to that. I done had a big old cup of coffee. Had a big cup of coffee. I sure did. Um, Baby, so now I'm trying to figure it out. Ugh. I'm trying to get stuff done and politic with y'all, baby. We talking about Boston Richie today. Yes, we talking about Boston from Austin. Okay, we're live with it too. And don't worry, I'ma come on with it. I'ma come on with it. Period. Like Dave Chappelle said, in just a minute. But hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. I'm live, okay, right now. So shout out to that. Child. Try to see what else I want to talk about before we go ahead and talk about that. Hold on. Trying to see what's going on in these internet streets. Now, I said Nikki. Okay. Y'all know it's been a lot said about my girl. Yeah, shout out to Nicki Minaj, because that's my girl. And Kenny, Kenny, don't play with it, baby, don't play with it. Okay, period. Like Lola Brooks said. Like, don't, like, hey. Yeah. You see this one right here? Period. Like my boo said, you see this one right here? Yeah, when you see her, yeah, period. I'm telling you, you're gonna have to exercise some strength. Yeah, like Janet Jackson said, yeah, nah, I'm gonna need you to find some control. Period. Don't play with it. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not with Nikki. Okay. Now I said, not Nikki. Shit. What Nikki? They said, I said, they said, I said, shit. I said, what Nikki? not Minaj. yeah, truth is. Not that one. So anyway, um, so I don't know what Nikki got going on, but y'all know they saying, you know what I'm saying? I had to tell y'all last week that they was trying to say right on the curb is Nikki and Kenny might have something going on. Now, truth is, y'all know I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere to get the tea. But I ain't been to New York. Oh, hold on. I ain't been to LA with my girl. Matter of fact, speaking of LA, so last night, this beautiful couple, I don't know their name, so I would have gave them a shout out. I would assume they're YouTubers because, well, I just assuming they're YouTubers. But anyway, so this beautiful couple looked like a little Chinese man, Japanese man, black woman, and came across my timeline. They was down here. I just want to say this to all you Californians. Listen, there is a lot of let me just say, so they came to Texas, right? And I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, but they was looking at homes. And I want to just tell y'all make sure y'all are weighing out y'all options and just doing y'all due diligence when y'all be coming out here and stuff like that. Because like, I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just hard to explain, but long story short, they was looking for land where they was looking at houses. And I was just thinking, like, why are they, like, why those houses? So it is what it is. I just feel like there are lots of options. You know what I'm saying? So you guys, I would say, do y'all due diligence, take time, and um, for y'all just, because I can't explain it, but yeah, they was just, anyway, I guess that would be a whole nother story for definitely a whole nother day. But anyway, y'all, what else is going on? I need to find my stuff so we can get into some of today's headlines. Now I told y'all I'm gonna be here. So shout out today. I'm gonna be here today. This is gonna be a very lengthy live. So if you want to come through, hit the like button. Get comfortable. And don't forget to subscribe. It's your girl Shay Renee. And I am reporting live from Austin. Okay, on Boston. Boston Richie, that is. As we all know, Boston Richie was called out. I want to say last week or over the weekend, okay, by his ex. It is what it is. Let me take it a step further. She's not calling him out for one thing in particular. She's calling him out for, lots of different things, okay? And it is what it is. We're gonna talk about it today. Especially gonna talk about it because I'm trying to figure out why ain't nobody else talking about it. Yeah. No, truth is, I'm like, sure. Y'all talk about everything else. Yeah, no, truth is, quick to talk about Megan Thee Stallion. Couldn't get you to shut up. And, you know, and now You're quiet. I'm trying to buy a valve. See, no, truth is, I'm like, okay. Um, and it's crazy too because some folks, I'm specifically looking to say something like, Cameron, yeah, nah, truth is, where you at? What? I said, take the what and leave the what. Nah, I need to hear from you. Okay, I just said, well, I need to hear from Cameron. Now, a lot of people, now I ain't, because they be chilling. You know what I'm saying? If you be chilling like that, then I ain't calling you out like that. But some of y'all, no. Some of y'all need to get to talking. And I don't know why. I do not know why. But I got Cameron on that list. It just is what it is. Yeah, yeah. I got Cameron on the list of somebody that needs to say something. Yeah, like Drake said, I'm gonna need you to say something, baby. But I don't even know why I want Cameron to say something so bad because I already know how Cameron coming. But I can't wait. It is what it is, and I can't wait. They all want to talk about Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. Nah, well, this is even better. Yeah, now truth is, this is an even better topic. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about her feeling like, you know, he was. Let's talk about how he was allegedly, right? How he was like allegedly grooming her. You know what I'm saying? What rhymes with grooming her from a young age. You know, which hold on, y'all, hold that thought. Don't hang up. Hold on, let me write it back. Which, um, well, rhymes with rooming. Okay, you got to use your imagination because I'm not sure if I can use that word here. Hold on, y'all. Okay, yeah, I'm back. Scoot up, hit the like button. Okay, so like I was trying to tell y'all though, so what rhymes with rooming, right? To me, that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. That's a real thing, okay? And people do it all the time. And my most honest personal opinion, um, when people meet someone, if they're older than you, especially like significantly older than you, let's say uh, uh, a 45-year old, meets a 25-year old. In my opinion, that 25-year old um should at least question, like, well, what could this person want with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, why me? And I think that that's a question that anybody, okay, that is younger and thinking about dating somebody older should ask themselves, It just is what it is. Because in my personal opinion, just my opinion, I'm not gonna say it like it's actual and factual, because I can't say that, right? But in my most honest personal opinion, um, I think partially the reason why they want you is because they think you're young and dumb. It just is what it is. That's how I think. That's how I feel. And I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You can meet this person. Come. You can meet this person while walking out of law school. Mm, mm, you know. Um. You can meet this person while graduating law school. Yeah. No, truth is, you can meet this person while giving an exam. I said, doctor. Yeah. Uh, and they still think your ass is dumb. Truth is, they still can possibly think that you're dumb, okay, and easily to manipulate. It just is what it is. Uh, uh, let's talk about it. Truth is, okay? And again, I'm not trying to say that like it's actual and factual, y'all. I'm trying to say it like that's what I be thinking. Okay? It just is what it is. That's my most honest personal opinion. So, do I think that older people, I'm just not the biggest fan of age gaps. Not like that. But I think that um I do think that like anything over 10 years is, you know, I just think that anything over 10 years can be I can't think of the word, but it could be a lot. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But like 25 and 35, okay. Um, of course you gotta be over 18. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be over 18 because a 15-year-old can't date a 25-year-old. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. That ain't gonna never work. That ain't gonna never fly. But I think as long as you keep it within a 5 to 10 year, you know, gap, it should be okay. You know what I'm saying? Because like 25 and 30 is perfectly fine to me. 30 and 35 is perfectly fine to me. 45 and 35, no problem with that. It's just, I think the specifics are gonna vary. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel about it. One, okay. Um, But two, to me, sometimes you just gotta ask yourself. You literally do. You have to. you have to ask yourself, what do you want from me? Period. You just gotta ask. Like for instance, I'm keeping it all the way real. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Um, okay, so like Dion and Carucci. Okay, Dion and Carucci, they are a good example of what I'm talking about. Yes, I think Carucci should be like, okay, so like what do you want with me? You know what I'm saying? Why me? Okay. And honestly, y'all, in my hearts of our hearts, first of all, their age gap is fine to me. It is, it's fine. But I will say, okay, that Dion is old. He's he has lived, okay. In other words, I know I'm trying to find the right words, but like long story short, he could be manipulating Carucci. You know what I'm saying? And that just is what it is. Even though Carucci is a very grown woman, she's not as grown as Dion. Okay, she's not as grown as Dion. So you know what that tells me? Carucci is wherever he is. She not there yet. You understand? She's not there. Okay, so he's going to take advantage of that. It just is what it is. That works out in his favor. Period. You know what I'm saying? Um, it just is what it is, and I just feel like that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. I feel like when you're dating somebody older, not every person, but definitely when you're dating someone older, they have the ability, right, to manipulate you. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. They have the upper hand. I like it's hard to explain, but it's kind of self-explanatory too. You understand what I'm saying? you know. So for instance, a woman that's Dion's age, a woman that's Dion's caliber, she'll probably be more of a challenge than Carucci for whatever reason, for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? She'll probably just be more of a challenge. It is what it is. Even though I consider Dion to be a good guy. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. Dion Sanders, what we know of Dion, good guy, great catch. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's a reason why he went after that lady that's way, 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 way younger than him. Okay? And the reason is gonna benefit him the most. Okay? It just is what it is. So shout out to that. Like Perucci won't be able to tell us her story until way, way later. Way, 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 you see, later on. You know what I'm saying? She'll be able to, well, yeah, I, you know what I'm saying? She'll be able to tell us. Shoot, it just is what it is. Her, that boy over there messing with Drea, and baby, the list. You see, yeah, the list just gonna go on and on and on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm here to tell y'all right now. Truth is, um, you know, me personally, I would tell you to date within your. Yeah, it is what it is. I would tell you to date within your. You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like somebody older, they gonna take you through there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, now truth is, I just feel like they're gonna take you through there. And like I just said, even The best people, okay? Even the best people, you know what I'm saying, with the best intentions and the great, the good, it's just it's an advantage um that they'll have. You know what I'm saying? You know, that they'll be able to take advantage of, you know what I'm saying? It just like even like I said, the best people. Shoot. You know? Um, it just is what it is. And I'll take it a step further, too. Man, it be good. I think it's good. I think it's a good thing for sure. When people find love. But I also think that it's things that they don't tell you about, you know. Uh, and again, I just think it comes from the age group thing. So, like, for instance, let's talk about Karuchi and Dion real quick. Karuchi. Shout out to Karuchi. I like Karuchi. That's my girl. But at the end of the day, I told y'all once before. One, I feel like Karuchi is changing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Which is expected. When you date people, you tend to be like them a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Um, and so I think Karuchi is changing a little bit, meaning she's acting a little bit more mature. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It just seems like if I had to guess, it's like, okay, I like I'm with a man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like people be saying, she don't want no puppy, she want a big dog. So she got this big dog, right? And I think Karuchi might battle with a couple of things, right? I think she might battle with the fact one, I think is probably a constant battle, you know what I'm saying? One, because she probably like, well, he wanted me. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. He could have Susie, Tracy, and Terry and Patty, right? But he didn't want them. He wanted a Karuchi. So shout out to that. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. But then two, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. I really don't. I think she also might deal with the fact that, like, if I'm being real, I think that, like, possibly, I could be wrong though. I think that, like, sometimes the women his age could be a little bit more intimidating. You know what I'm saying? For her. It just is what it is. I don't necessarily think it's the younger ones. I would assume it's the older ones. You know what I'm saying? That might be a little bit more intimidating because it is what it is. I honestly, personally, I think Karuchi think, right? If Dion was to do him, he would do him with somebody that's possibly around his age. You know what I'm saying? Not Karuchi age, maybe in between both of theirs. You know what I'm saying? I can see something like that because it is what it is. He been around for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But like, I think Karuchi is acting a little older. You know what I'm saying? If I'm being real, they already calling her a little grandma and stuff like that. So I don't know. I can't explain it. But like, if you in your mind, if you feel like you got a grandbaby, you know, I just feel like it's certain stuff that you're gonna do and certain stuff that you ain't gonna do. And if I'm being all the way real, I listen, long story short, I feel like Karuchi, like, where are her friends? You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So in other words, I just feel like her life has changed, if that makes sense. It just is what it is. So, like, for instance, when she see her friends doing stuff, she probably be like, it's childish. You know what I'm saying? She probably think it's childish now. Um, because now being with Dion, it's just certain places. And if you ask me, certain places and possibly certain faces that she feel like she can't be seen with, or none of that no more. But that's another thing too. When you get in a relationship, it depends on who you are and how old you are and all of that. Like different strokes for different folks. But I feel like you gravitate less to your friends and more to your spouse. You know what I'm saying? So to me, when you get in a relationship, you start seeing your friends less and less. It is what it is because you're making room and making time for your new normal. And sometimes relationships, people just be booed up, child. Shout out to LMA. I don't know what else to tell you. And I feel like Karuchi is in her. She's definitely in her booed up season, y'all. So shout out to her and shout out to that. But like I was saying, that room and stuff is a real thing. And I do think that that boy rhymes with room with that girl. I do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on now. I said, come on. Come on, come on, come on. It just don't, it to me, again, it don't take no rocket. Uh, it don't take no rocket scientist to figure out that you know, he used their age gap to his advantage. He took advantage of it. Like there's no try. I would not doubt that. I would not doubt that. And according to her, though, he was so manipulative, y'all. That it it led to like things that they were doing, intimately, according to Boston Richie's ex. And man, listen, okay. First of all, people could not be talking about this topic because they don't really know how to talk about it. Truth is, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? They really might not know how. Cause I'm struggling. Like I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, it's like, oh, you can't really just say what you want to say. You gotta cut so many corners, and try to figure out a way to where people can read between the lines, so to speak. But listen, the question has come up: is it weird activity? I'm gonna tell you like this. I find it to be weird. I do. I find it to be weird. But I will say this. Uh, you know, that's okay. So, yeah. So what people like to do in their house, so to speak, it's like what they do like to do in their house, and a lot of people say that you shouldn't shame people for stuff that they like to do in their house, you know. So for instance, if you found out that your neighbor likes to, you know, paint his ass red every Friday and play pin the donkey, pin the tail on the donkey, you know, so to speak. And I mean, this is just a game that he plays every Friday. You know, that's his business, you know, and although it's weird, you know, like what the fuck he got going on, you know. People be saying that you're not supposed to shame people, so to speak, because, you know, I don't know. I don't even know why you're not supposed to shame them, but people be saying, you know what I'm saying? Don't shame people. I didn't heard that a lot of times, you know. Or it's just like, okay, for instance, if you found out that your neighbor, you know what I'm saying? Um, you know, like gives people money for like send me a picture of your feet, you know what I'm saying? I'll pay you. You know, what I'm saying? I'll pay you top dollar, you know what I'm saying? Pay $5,000 a pick, you know. Then you might be like, "Oh, that's great." You know what I'm saying? But again, that's supposed to be something that's supposed to be somebody's prerogative, so to speak. And like I guess you're not supposed to, you know what I'm saying, shame them because they like feet, you know what I'm saying? They're into feet, you know? Um so I listen, I don't know. It's one of them things, right? It's one of them things. But do I find it weird what the girl said that she be doing to Boston? Yes, Apostle Richie. Absolutely. You know, if I'm being all the way real, keeping it a bean, a buck, keeping it real with myself first. Y'all know that listen, I got to. I'm gonna keep it real with myself first. You know I got y'all second. Period. Y'all coming in at a big old second. That's a lot. Mm, mm. I do. I find it to be on the weird side, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, you know, people say, is it y'all know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Um, is it like funny bunny? You know what I'm saying? And that I can't. Now that I like it's so hard for me to answer. Is it funny bunny? Even though he, it's with Toddy. It was being done allegedly with Toddy. I really don't know how to answer that. I don't. All I can say is, for me, right? It's worrisome. It's worrisome. That's the word I'm looking for, right? Worrisome. Worrisome. I believe that's it. Bothersome. Maybe bothersome. Is that the word? Child, listen, it bothers me. Okay, it just said what it would, but yeah. uh, and I think that like that's where the shaming comes in. Because it's like, wait, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Like your dog said, who doing that? You see, just who the hell doing that? I mean, it just is what it is. But like, hey, hey, ultimately, tries a lot. It is like I don't know what to say. It's one of them subjects. Like I said, you can't really talk straightforward. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, you kind of gotta like blur a lot of the details out and stuff like that. But overall, I'm glad that she spoke out. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad. I'm glad that she spoke out because it's messed up as it is for him. There's a little bit of freedom. You know what I'm saying, for both of them. They're free. It is what it is. He's not necessarily free, but he kind of is. You know what I'm saying? And she really did him a favor. She did. She really did him a huge favor to me. You know what I'm saying? So to speak. So now we're like, you don't have to hide that like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Because it is what it is. You know, and I definitely think that it's one of them things, okay, where like, you know what it reminds me of? People been comparing him to Diddy. And it reminds me of Diddy a lot. Because remember when the lady said she met Diddy, um, Diddy was telling her about, the stuff that he's into. And it was new to her. She didn't know nothing about it, hadn't done it before, right? And he was basically like introducing her to something. You know what I'm saying? You know how you meet somebody, mama? Yeah, like that. He introduced her to the lifestyle, so to speak. And I feel like the same thing with him, you know. Um, but the only difference now is like the same thing with Diddy, to me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, now truth is it's embarrassing, it's shameful, but it's also freedom, so to speak, if they, plan on continuing. You know what I'm saying? Because now every woman that runs up on Diddy, now they know what it is. You know what I'm saying? To me, you got all the information in front of you, Miss Presser Girl. You know what it is, you know what it ain't. You're not finna be no girlfriend, you ain't finna be no wife. Nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? In fact, you know, like what you're going in for. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that offers clarity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like a jeweler. That offers clarity into the whole situation, the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? It's to me. Now it probably ain't that fun for Diddy them, because let me tell you what it did. It separated the women that are willing to do that with Diddy and the ones who are not. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a little, I guess it would be like a little blow to his ego or whatnot, because the ones who aren't willing to do it, those, he will still pursue those women, you know, but at least it eliminated the energy and the time wasted. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a lot of women that are willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? And do it willingly and put in applications, you know. And so like now they can just find him, and he can find them. And people get what they want more like that. You know what I'm saying? So same thing with the Boston thing. You have women that are willing to do that type of thing. You have women who enjoy doing that type of thing. And all she did was make it where they can all find each other freely now, okay? It just is what it is. Now they can find each other freely. Uh, Now the downside to that, and the most messed up part to that is, uh, I hate to say it, but like I feel like the guys that like that, now they're gonna be looking for her. Yeah, the truth is. Now, basically you didn't open up your DMs to the people ready to now, now they try to get you to take the horse to the old town road. You see? Or whatnot, because that's another thing. People was saying that like they think she liked it. Allegedly. I will say this. think there might be a little truth to that. You know what I'm saying? Truth is, I think there might be a little truth to that. Um, Maybe a little bit. But I will say too, because a part of me was like, man, people usually don't do stuff that they don't like. Not over and over again, like Nelly said. Eventually it will play itself out. You know what I'm saying? Almost like Cassie. Like no different than Cassie. It took her years, but it don't matter. At some point, she said, I don't like this. I don't like this no more. I can't do this no more. You know what I'm saying? So, like, maybe the same thing with her. You know what? I really can't call it. I don't know. Honestly, whether she liked it or not, that's really irrelevant. Let me just say that. It's irrelevant. Um, I just think that a lot of it's a lot, it's a lot of stuff that needs to be addressed. And it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Y'all know I'm hardly ever speechless. But like, yeah, that type of thing, it's hard to speak, child. Mm, mm. And and if I'm being all the way real, if I'm being all the way real, I mean all the way real, I don't think she lying. I don't get the vibe that she lying at all. No, I mean at all. I don't get that vibe at all. Now we'll say this though. A lot of people say quit doing stuff. I agree. Quit doing things to where you got to come out later, and if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, you been questioning what he likes and what he doesn't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been questioning that. If you been doing what you said you've been doing to him, then you've been wondering, you know, if he like a little something, something extra. Don't act like you not cool with him liking a little something, something extra now. Obviously, um, you kind of cool with it. You know what I'm saying? On a cool, you kind of cool with it. Cause it is what it is. Man, you would have gave him his walking papers. It is what it is. You would have told him no, you know. But to me, you don't get to sit up, do it, have a funky good time, and then later on expose it. You know that is kind of on the weird side to me. That's a little bit on the weird side. And I definitely think that's different than saying, hey, I ran across something weird in his phone, or he said something weird one time, or, you know, but to participate and then want to run and tell is just like that's I don't know what to say about that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, now that's giving like it's giving not necessarily you trying to get some money, but it's definitely giving like you're hurt. You know what I'm saying? You're hurt. And at this point, you coming with any and everything you think of, which is kind of like, again, it's weird to me. You don't get to do that. Now that's weird to me. Hold on, y'all. Try my bad. Okay, so then in Boston, Richie, he gonna take to, he come on the internet, you know, uh, addressing it, which I don't think he should have. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I don't think he should. Uh, just for the simple fact that, like, him addressing it, like, it didn't really. I don't know. I can't explain, but it didn't clear nothing up. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't clear nothing up. In fact, to me, you know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion, it kind of gave like, I believe, it kind of gave like, I think it's some truth in the middle of what both of they saying. You know what I'm saying? To me, he kind of like confirmed what she was saying. She was basically saying that like he's sick. You know what I'm saying? He's sick, allegedly, and she feel like he needs some help. You know, and to me, he was kind of saying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? He was saying in so many words, I'm a cheater. He was like, and that's what this is about. You know what I'm saying? He's like, this is because I can't quit cheating. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I think there's some truth in the middle. I think that if he really, really got issues, you know what I'm saying? Um, as far as cheating and stuff like that, then yeah, to me, like, yeah. You like what's I say? Freaky, I need to stay the ass inside. That's what it revived, yeah, y'all. Yeah, now truth is, it's giving super freak, super freak, it's super freaky. That's what it gives. You know what I'm saying? Uh, uh. Child, truth is, you want the truth? Maybe you gotta be able to handle it over here with me. So shout out to that. Yeah, now, um, he, that that's what him addressing it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's what I got from it. Sure. So he could have left that where it was. He got on the internet looking like Reverend Ron's son. They look alike to me. uh what's his name? Boston Richie and what's Reverend Ross name? How could I think of Reverend Ross name? Uh it's something J, huh? It's what's his name? Dang, I can't think his name. Angela them brother, Rusty, Angela, Vanessa. Dang, I can't think of his name. But anyway, he looked like that's what he looked like. Boston Richie and him. They remind me of each other, but child, that's what I think about. Um, the situation, again, like I said, um, I also think that it's one of those. Let's talk about it. I also think that it's one of those topics that, like, you got to tiptoe around, kind of, so to speak, because you don't want to hurt someone, right? So, like, listen. Somebody could be listening to me right now that I care about. It is what it is. I care for them. They care for me. And I don't want to hurt them. And they be on their house and Richie time. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't want to hurt their feelings. That's why I said. That's why I said from the beginning. It's one of those things where, um, I just don't know if I could say that word on YouTube, but like it rhymes with tink. Okay, and that's what people be saying that you're not supposed to tink shame people. You know what I'm saying? Because uh, a tink, right, is, I guess, it's something that uh uh anybody can have, or I don't know if they feel like everybody has one. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But And I need to look that word up anyway, because I just need the uh, actual, what I'm saying, definition of it. But uh, yeah, that's kind of why it's a touchy topic, because it's one of those things where, even though it's weird to you, right? It can be, and it can be like, listen, that's the thing. Just because you, uh, let me say again, not trying to offend somebody, but just because you like to, dress up in an avatar costume on the weekends and jump around and climb trees and stuff like that, doesn't mean that I can't say that that's weird. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to say that, like, that's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Um, without offending someone. But the truth is, sometimes your opinion can be offensive, to people that, it can just be offensive, especially if you saying something is weird and, they do it all the time, so I can see how, yeah, truth is, I can see how it's one of those things, truth is, because I'll take it a step further. He not the first or the last guy, okay, to, I would say, be into that type of thing, okay? Now we'll just say this though. From a lot of women's perspective though, that's pretty scary. Okay, it is what it is. That's pretty freaking scary. Yeah, now truth is, just like, a movie, or running from the rhyme with the tiller in the movie. It's scary. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's scary. Because, like, now, like, you're playing today, but tomorrow, yeah, like Annie said, are you gonna be for real? It's all fun and games now, right? Because she didn't bought this over, you know. But again, that's too, for most women, right? That shit is too close for comfort. Right, it is. Just is what it is. For most women, it's too close for comfort, and so it'll never fly. Right. But again, um, everybody not the same, and it is different people out here, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no size one fits all. It ain't no one and all. Like, it's not. So um, I just feel like I said, there are so many people. Yeah, I say it all the time. Your vibe creates your tribe. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, I feel like all you gotta do is vibe, you know. And the people will come. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. The people will come. They'll flock to, you know, uh what it is. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, too. By the way, whatever it is that they need to flock to. You know what I'm saying? But to me, you just need to be yourself. That's why I don't. You know what I'm saying? That's why I recommend people being themselves. Um, 100%. It is what it is. Like, yeah, the best you can. You know what I'm saying? Now I know that we can't always do that. But like now, I would recommend you get it goddamn me as close as you can. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that. So everybody know what they dealing with up front. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no, I didn't got it home and it ain't what I thought. Like, now. You knew from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Truth is, you knew from the beginning. And For me, that's my only issue. Okay. It is. To me, that's my only issue, with her story. But I will say this though, if you listen, if you tell somebody to leave you alone and they keep doing stuff and like I don't know. Um, I really don't know how to feel about it. I will say this though. They have been around each other for a long time. And so he probably thought, that he was calling her bluff a little bit or something. Child, she wasn't playing with him. Way at all. She wasn't playing with him. And so she exposed a lot of, stuff that he be having going on, child. And listen, when I tell y'all, it's really sad if it's not true because it's so believable. It is. It's so believable. Like, I believed her, off the rip. To me, she just had too many receipts, too many receipts. And I take it a step further too. Like, these days, that type of thing don't really ruin nobody's career like that. So, that's that too. It don't. Like, yeah. I will say this, you can say something like that, and people be like, I don't know, you ain't gotta worry about it, you know. But you could also say something like that, right? And nothing happens. You know what I'm saying? Nothing happens. The girls is still going, you know, and yeah, I feel like that's a chance that you take. Now, I will say this too before I get out of here. I think it's an unfortunate situation for both of them. Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, now truth is both of them. Because at the end of the day, you telling both of y'all business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, now truth is you telling both of y'all business. And I'll take it a step further. To me, also, you're like inviting those type of guys to you now. So now you never know if a guy really like you, he really into you, or he likes you because he thinks that you're gonna give him the Boston Richie treatment. Try. Yeah, now truth is, let's talk about it. Cause like you never know. That is the type of stuff that people do. So for instance, have y'all ever heard somebody say, um, never really talk about your ex and stuff like that. So, for instance, if you meet a girl, you don't never want to tell her, like, yeah, my ex used to cheat on me all the time, and I would take her back. You know what I'm saying? She cheated on me 4 times, and that 4th time I finally left. Like, people tell you don't talk like that. Don't tell people like that. Don't tell people stuff like that. Because then they'll use that to their advantage. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be thinking, well, oh, so I can cheat on him and he ain't gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna leave. Type stuff. Same thing I would say. Like, huh. So now you done tell the boys that you down to do that type of thing. You don't think that that's gonna make the ones who like that type of thing seek you out? Like, I think it is. I think it will. I think it can. So that's another reason why she shouldn't have put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Because truth is, Miss Present Girl, a lot of people is feeling like you like it too. You like it. You're into it. It's your thing. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying that's what a lot of people gonna be thinking. Probably. You know, so. And the crazy part is too, I take a step further. I feel like somebody could pretend. So let's say she meet a man in 2026, but he don't ask her about exploring that until 2029, 2030. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, now when you think that ain't what he on, and he on that, you know what I'm saying, on that type of time, you like, it's just, how much y'all want to bet? How much y'all want to bet? It's gonna be somebody in her DM that want that. And I take a step further, period. Let me do that before I get up out of here for real. Uh, child. Um, don't think Boston Richie is the only one too. Yeah, nah, I think that's why everybody quiet and we can't get no Val now. By no Val now. I don't think he the only one. You know what I'm saying? Like I know he ain't the only one. So now I'm trying to see, but again, we've been talking about it. It's shameful. You know what I'm saying? It's shameful. You know. So that's that. I guess, by being shameful, a lot of people, you can't get them to admit nothing. But, child, it would be interesting to see how many people will be like, man, I do it too, Boston. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking for somebody to say, yeah, I be on that. And I'm proud. Um, you know, it is what it is. Now, I will say this, though. Some stuff is private though. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff is private for a reason. So, for instance, if we were supposed to share every detail of our lives, right? Our homes would be glass. Like we would live in glass houses. you know? But like, no, okay. There is a certain thing. There is a certain thing. I mean, there is a such thing, okay, as privacy. It just is what it is. And that's to me, that's why it exists too. It exists for lots of reasons, but we supposed to have privacy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's like we can, but the average person ain't waking up talking about, oh, let me tell you what I did last night. It doesn't. It just doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. So really and truthfully, him nor nobody else has to offer up, what they do in their spare time. You know what I'm saying? Like how they like to get it on or whatnot. But I will say this, I don't think he the only one. Shoot, he not. I don't think he the only one, and I think that's why we haven't heard from a lot of people. But I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I was like, where's the people? Yeah, like, no, let's talk about it. Like, why ain't nobody talking about this? And I want y'all to pay attention too. Because y'all know I'm tuned in. Oh, yes. What? Y'all like the opera? I'm tuned. Because I'm trying to see who gonna talk about it and who ain't. Mm-hmm. Following that Megan Thee Stallion and Clay story. Oh no, remember, let's talk about it. That Megan Thee Stallion and Clay story was hot. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Fish grease hot. So, yeah, no, let's talk about it. Like, yeah, no, y'all, baby. What? Now y'all ain't finna gloss over this like a pair of lips. Nah, you just nigga what? Nah, I said take a what it is, what? Mm-mm. I'm paying attention. Period. I'm just paying attention, y'all. It is what it is. Like I'm telling y'all right now. If they don't talk about it, I know something. I know something. Okay. Period. It just is what it is because I talked about it. And yeah, it was a challenge. You know what I'm saying? It was a challenge. Because I don't know, like I just had to find the right words. And I hope I did. You know what I'm saying? I did the best I could. But ultimately, no, this ain't that. We ain't playing. Shit. So y'all like, no. Like the car people, don't be trying to dodge it. Okay? Pig. Shut up there. Like, please don't try to dodge this topic. Nah, I'm gonna need y'all to talk about that. Like I was talking about Megan Thee Stallion. you know, child. Or whatnot, whatnot. So we will see, child, but like now. Like just like somebody that don't plan on going to work. I have to call these folks out. Okay, this is what it is. Like now, I have to call them out. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. Like I said, I know it's touchy, but it is what it is. Like, yeah, nah, aren't they all? aren't they all? And so anyway, let's continue. And then one more thing I wanted to tell y'all before I got out of here. Shout out to Nikki, Nikki, Nikki. I said Nikki, Nikki, Nikki. Shout out to her. That's my girl. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Y'all, truth is, I don't really know if anything is going on with Nicki Minaj and her marriage. I will say this though. I do think that um, I feel like I'm just listen, I didn't live long enough to know that like things don't just listen, things don't just fall out the sky. You know, so if there's a rumor that there's trouble in paradise, it probably is. You know what I'm saying? It really probably is. Now, I'm not saying that that's actual and factual or not, because it's especially because I don't really believe all rumors. But I listen, I tell y'all this all the time, and I mean it. Uh, I feel like when we hear stuff, by the time it gets to us, okay, and us, I mean, us, you know what I'm saying? The people that enjoy the news, enjoy the celebrity gossip, not the ordinary people that John Legend was talking about. That ain't us. Absolutely, that ain't us. But again, the people that be zoomed in and tuned in or whatnot. I just feel like we get it late anyway. No, truth is, uh, I don't know. I'm not sure how late. I really don't know, but I definitely believe by the time we hear it, it's old. You know what I'm saying? You're through, and it be through. So anyway, is there trouble in paradise for Nicki Minaj? I really don't know, but um, I'm smart enough to say that it very well could be. Okay, it just is what it is. It very well could be. Especially when you don't have a really active Nicki Minaj online right now. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, because possibly, she could have something going on and she could be trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. I'm gonna tell you like this though. If they say it was nothing, cool. You know what I'm saying? Good. Like that's what we want to hear. You know what I'm saying? As a Nicki Minaj fan and supporter. That's what I want to hear. Um, but if they say, it ends up to be true, it's like, okay, I could believe that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I could definitely believe it because, one, it's being reported from different places, and faces now. You know what I'm saying? That's that. So the story is kind of slowly picking up a little steam. That's one. And then two, Nikki has been quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like if Nikki was all out and about right now and really on Twitter and stuff like that, like she normally be, then I would kind of second, what I'm saying, side eye it a little bit. But the fact that she been so quiet, it really could be something going on. Um, so that's that. And then I take it a step further too. Remember before Megan and Clay broke up, they were saying that Megan and Clay was broke up. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling y'all, I was like, I'm a little worried because I ain't seen Megan and Clay together, And then they found a way to announce it. You see, you feeling me? So yeah, that's just how I feel about it. I'll take it a step further too. Sometimes people be wanting to know what's like, okay, let me just give you an example. So let's say a woman and a man break up. Let's say a woman and a man break up in February. Okay. Most of the time, a woman and a man, or most of the time, they won't announce it until May or June or whenever they, decide to announce it. But usually it's not right away. You know what I'm saying? Usually it's not right away. If somebody break up on April the 1st, it's really strange if they telling you by the 2nd or the 3rd that they single, or it ended. I wouldn't say strange, but most people usually don't do that. You know? Most people give it time. You know what I'm saying? Most people give it time for different stuff, whatever it is. To me, okay, my most honest, humble opinion, I think it'd be like time for processing. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like an application, or something like that, so to speak. Like they need people. To me, people need time to like again process it. You know what I'm saying? Um, or like to me, in my most honest opinion, I could see somebody feeling like, can I know what's going on in my life? Shit. You know what I'm saying? Before I share it with you. Because that's the thing, like, that type of stuff does take time. It does. It takes lots of time and energy and communication. You know what I'm saying? Like people be needing to know what's what. You know what I'm saying? Before they just start, if that makes sense. So the average, the most people that might have a breakup in April ain't gonna announce it right away. Because again, they are trying to get situated, trying to understand, find understanding. You know, just so much stuff that's needed right before you announce it. It just is what it is. And I just feel like that, that could be what's going on too. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, no. People definitely, okay, celebrities too. They're still people. To me, they need time to be able to figure it out, you know. Um and especially people like Nicki Minaj. I would say especially somebody like a Nicki Minaj. Somebody like a Nicki Minaj would definitely need time to figure things out. You know what I'm saying? Because they have all this money and stuff involved. Assets. You know. a reputation, just so much stuff, that they have to protect and stuff like that. So I could see, um I just want to say, I understand, time for processing, okay, so to speak. It is what it is. I take it a step further. The average couple usually, get back together too. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing too. So why would we tell y'all or announce that, we're separated in April when, by May, we're back working on things, or sometimes, listen, let's just give this some space. Let's give this some time. Let's work on things. It is what it is. Overall, long story short, a lot of people don't announce what's going on in their lives until they have fully processed what's going on in their lives. So anyway, Pooper Stars, it's your girl Shay Renee. I came, I saw, I conquered, child, and I had a time. Okay. So shout out to that. I definitely had a time with y'all. I always do. Yeah, so that's why I keep coming back. Shout out to that. But yeah, y'all. I said yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. I guess I'm done for the day. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, um, share if you dare. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, y'all.